Right now in the Pokemon market, a lot of people are turning to single cards. Sealed product is getting harder and harder to get hold of at the moment until reprints come. So people are turning to single cards, whether or not to complete master sets, or just have it in their collection, or to get graded, or so on and so forth. Now, right now, there are a bunch of single cards which are falling in price, but there are some great pickups that can be had pretty much across the board, especially with prices falling, which to me makes it a great time to pick up some of these, what I would call good, solid cards. And some of these are going to be cards we're going to go through today. They're going to be good cards, right? They're just, like I say, they're good cards across the board. Some are going to be popular cards, and we're going to see what is going on. We're on Collector today. We're going to be looking at cards prices here in the UK to give you guys a better idea, and myself a better idea, because obviously I like to pick up cards, potentially send up to get graded, to finish having my collections, and so on and so forth. We're going through the top trendy cards, or trending cards as it were, right now, what people are buying, and we'll be going through and seeing whether or not they're going to be worth it, what the prices are happening, and yeah, we'll see where we go. Okay, so we're on Collector today. I've just searched it by the most popular ones that's trending today, and we've got a whole bunch of cards, a whole range of cards, some really nice ones here to give you guys an idea of what's going on. So we have a bunch of cards here that we're going to be looking at today. The one that catches my eye is this one, this Captain's Pikachu Horizon Fuller. This is a Chinese card. This is being fallen a bit. I've never seen it before. It actually looks pretty cool. But the other one is quite popular. Another one here, we got the Eevee promo. This is one I wanted to talk about. So you got the normal Prismatic promo. This card has been falling like crazy. Now, the thing is with Prismatic ETBs is whether or not they're going to get reprinted or not, and what's going to happen regarding these cards. Now, of course, when we look at this, we can see what the ungraded price is for this, and it's fallen off the cliff, right? It has fallen like crazy. £5 for this card, and it's dropped 24% recently. Very, very cheap right now. I think it's a fantastic card if you're a massive Eevee fan like me. It's adorable. Great little pickup. It just is, right? We've got the Lily's Clefairy. We've looked at that recently from Join Together. Those have been falling. Charmander. So we have the Charmander promo from the ETB. This is just a regular one, not the Pokemon Center version. Again, pretty good. I mean, it has been around £3 and it creeped all the way up to around £20 a card, and it has fallen down to around about £15. I think this is a good pickup as well. Of course, the Pokemon Center version is a lot more expensive, but this is still an adorable one to get hold of, and I think it's a good one to get. It really is, and you can't go wrong, in my opinion, with a lot of the starter type Pokemon as well. Then you got the Charizard from 151, of course, the big boy Charizard. 151 here in the UK is very, very expensive, but Zard's fallen. He's fallen from the skies, apparently. It was around 220-ish pounds. Now we're looking at 156. Pretty much. Last time it was roughly around this price was back at the beginning of the year. It could be a good pickup to get if you're looking to get in some 151, and obviously this is the biggest card from 151. You got to look at things like the cost per pack, the availability of 151. Yes, a lot of this card was pulled because there was good pull rates in 151, but it is still going to be a big card, and graded it goes for like $800, so it's pretty good. So keep an eye on the Charizard there from 151. Other cards, standout cards, the Umbreon from Prismatic. We talked about some other cards. This one is falling. We're looking at £1,000. I know it sounds crazy. £1,000 raw, and it has fallen, quite heavily. I mean, it's dropped a couple of £100 over the last few months, and I do expect it to continue to fall. More Prismatic hitting the shelves in the coming months, and more of this opened. Look, it's still ridiculously expensive, and it still will remain an expensive card, but it will fall. So keep that one in mind. Pokemon Center promo. This one stings a bit because I did pick up a lot of these, and I have sold, sent off a load to get graded with PSA, but this has fallen quite heavily. This card actually did reach a peak of around about £110, and is now around £70 raw. So when you look at Pokemon Center ETB, the Pokemon Center ETB itself is holding relatively well. We didn't have a restock of them in the UK. We got Shrouded Fable, but we didn't get Prismatic. So, look, the Pokemon Center ETBs are holding quite well, whereas the promo has been falling. We'll have to wait and see if it falls any more. I think it would bounce back once, Prismatic has been done a couple of years down the line, 2, 3, 4 years down the line. I do expect a lot of these to bounce back quite nicely, but there have been a lot of these around, so I do expect it to fall. But still, could pick up though for a price. It is relatively cheap. I say cheap, but it's cheaper at least. Of course, lots of evolutions going around. We got the Ends Reshiram Join Together promo, £9 for a promo. We knew that the box topper was going to be super cheap. The regular one from the set is more expensive. So whether or not, when you're looking at buying a booster box, is it worth picking up the enhanced one? It's only going to be £9 difference in value. Is the price £9 difference between a Join Together box and the enhanced? Probably not. I think the enhanced is probably about £20 or more than a regular box. So keep that in mind regarding the Ends Reshiram. Of course, other cards that interest me. Of course, we've got the 151 promos. So from the UPC. UPC is insanely expensive. We're looking at £23 for the Mew. That's not too bad. I do know on eBay sometimes it can sell for a little bit more. All depends on the condition of the cards. It is tough to grade. I've graded a few. I haven't got a 10. It's quite difficult. Then we got the Bubble Mew. I want to talk about the Bubble Mew. The Bubble Mew is an interesting one if you're looking at picking up a really big expensive card. Palladium Fates, yeah, more expensive, harder to find here in the UK. We're looking around about £8 a pack or so. Yeah, it's getting a bit pricey. This card's fallen, right? We're looking from £310 down to £240, under £240 now. So yeah, this one is falling. How far would it fall? Don't know. It all depends on if there's going to be any more reprints of Palladium Fates. I don't think there is. I mean, the set's only been out just over a year, so it is due to have some. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we do. I mean, they'll probably do like the tins or the booster bundles or something, which is actually pretty good. But then we already got the Moonbryon. So we looked at the other Umbreon from Prismatic, but the Moonbryon's doing very well, as to be expected. £1,200, insane. And look, I mean, it stayed very consistent over the past few months. It's actually jumped up quite a bit. So keep that in mind with the Umbreon. It is like the modern day super duper Charizard, essentially. It's just super hyped. Speaking of Zards, we've got the Zard from Obsidian Flames. This one's fallen quite heavily. I did remember going to one of the card shows a couple of months ago, back in February. I was seeing this for around about £60 being sold to the vendors. We're looking at £40 now, so this one has fallen. I was there roughly around February, so obviously here we got £53, but it was inflated for card show prices. So yeah, I mean, the fact it's dropped to 40, more appealing, does still hold value in a 10, and a PSA 10 is good. Tough to grade though. Then we got the Pikachu the Grey Fell Hat. I've got one of these. Whether or not you want to pick this up, I mean, it's a very iconic card. Let's put it that way. Worth a lot of money, holding quite well. Jumped up over the past few months. Incredible amount of money. So yeah, this one is a very interesting one. If you do like Pikachu and you want to have a nice collection piece, it is pretty good. Then we got the Umbreon from Terrestrial Festival. We look a bit of Japanese. This one's actually done relatively well. It's gone up, well, I say well, it's gone up by about 7% recently. So it's gone up a little jump. But it has fallen quite a lot. A lot of Terrestrial Festival gets opened up, good pull rates, and so on and so forth. Personally, I would go for Terrestrial over Prismatic any day, currently at the moment, unless more Prismatic hits the shelves, which is yet to be seen. Then we've got some more of these big cards, right? You've got the Pikachu, from Surgeon Sparks, Gold Giratina, Lugia. So let's take a look at the Pika. That one has been falling, £240. Ouch. This one has been falling quite heavily. I do expect it to drop even more, so you'll probably hold off on this one for a bit, because I do expect some Surgeon Sparks reprints to hit pretty soon. Giratina Gold Star. This one, or Gold V-Star, this one is incredible from Crown Zenith. Has fallen slightly, dipped by about £20 recently. I still think this is a good pickup. Crown Zenith is not getting any easier. And of course, this is the biggest card from the set. Absolutely incredible. The same goes for the Lugia. Silver Tempest. I didn't know. The price of a Silver Tempest booster box here in the UK is $220. So the fact is that you can buy this big boy Lugia for pretty much the same price. This is a insanely good card, and it's only going to go up in value. This is so good. It's so good, and it's taken a while to get there, but it's doing well. It is doing well. Other cards we'll look at. Let's look at the big boy Gengar from Fusion Strike. Of course, Fusion Strike booster boxes have dipped a little bit here in the UK. They dipped by around about 15% from their all-time high. So it was £540 for Gengar. We're looking about £460. I have seen some that have sold for less than £450. You can find some either on eBay or places like that. Of course, the condition affects the price. Then let's take a look what else we've got here. So the Giratina, let's take a look at the Giratina, of course, from Lost Origin. Another big money card. This one was 530. Dipped a little bit. Again, I think anything Sword and Shield, especially the big old arts, I think are going to be good. I think they're just going to... They're so difficult to find and get hold of and get in a good condition. Honestly, I just think they're great. And then a few other cards on me. You want to buy a base set Zard 3,500? Damn. But yeah, look at the rest of these. I mean, you got the Mewtwo, pretty nice there. The Charmander, of course, got the promos. Some of the promos, Sword and Shield have graded a ton of these. They're holding relatively well. I think the Charizard UPC promos are great pickups right now if you're looking to get stuff in your collections. And you can get them graded in 10s. They're worth a lot of money. But yes, there are a ton of amazing cards available right now that you can pick up. Some have fallen, so now's a great time to get them. I'll give you an example. Ninetales from Obsidian. Look at this one. This is a great card to pick up. I mean, it was £25 and now we look around £15. Again, beautiful. Obsidian, again, more expensive, harder to find. Keep that in mind. It rhymed as well. So yeah, overall, I do feel like a lot of these cards are falling. Sword and Shield is doing relatively well. Scarlet and Violet is 100% cooling off. So that is a good thing to see. I've got to finish off with Zard. We've got to finish off with the Zardy boy. Brilliant Stars. I love Brilliant Stars. I love this Zard. Doing incredibly well. I think anything Sword and Shield, I mean, look at that bounce back. Anything Sword and Shield, when it's the big old arts, I think are great. I know they're quite pricey, but Scarlet and Violet also cards have been falling in value. There you have it, guys. Those are just some cards of what's going on right now in the UK market. And to be honest, there's a lot of stuff getting cheaper. Sword and Shield, I think the big money cards, like the big top hits, the big old arts, are going to be pretty good long term. I think they're going to be great ones. Scarlet and Violet can be a little bit volatile right now. So I would probably aim for some of the lower end cards. I would go for the cheaper ones right now. At least they have that potential to grow. A lot of the big money cards, as we've seen, have been falling. Of course, like the Pikachu, some of the big SIRs we've seen from a bunch of different sets is, you know, especially when they got like reprints coming, keep that in mind. Reprints are going to hurt a lot of these cards raw. So I'd probably hold off getting some of those, but definitely some of the lower value stuff is pretty appealing. So probably, you know, some illustration rares that have fallen in price are going to be pretty appealing to me. Some of the promos as well, again, have been falling. The Charmander promo, the Eevee promo from Prismatic is very good. But yeah, there are a ton of really great promos that you can pick up right now from ETBs, which I think are very, very good as well. And anything 151, I think a lot of stuff from 151 has been falling. And here in the UK, like I said, they're getting expensive to get hold of packs. So keep that in mind with 151, because I do think that is a good, just good stuff around the board to get. If you made it far into the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments regarding this situation with these cards. Is there any that you think are great pickups right now? Which ones today is your favorite? Look, there's some amazing ones, but that Captain Pikachu looks absolutely adorable. That's it from me, guys, in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch more Pokemon content, make sure to click the video on the screen, and of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.